Hello, I'm Dr. Rohan Bhatt. I'm a dentist by profession and I'm with my dear friend Kirat. Thank you so much. Kirat is a national level cricketer and also current Ranji Trophy Selection Committee Chairman for Gujarat. And we are talking something regarding cricket. As this is a beautiful season of World Cup, which we were waiting since last 4 years, and we are there and we are just set it up after an amazing India-Australia match. So tell me, Kirat, how was the match? Did you see it or not?
Oh, of course I did. In fact, I was commentating on the Star Sports,
Okay.
and I saw it very close because, it could not have asked for a bigger beginning. First of all, you play against Australia, which is a 5-time World Cup champion. They know exactly how to win matches, how to win championship. There can't be a bigger team than Australia in the world cricket when it comes to one-day cricket. And then the inaugural match against Australia itself, and what a match, because a low-scoring game. Chennai is one of those venues where you don't get 350s, unlike Motera, Wankhede, Eden Garden, Bangalore. It's one of those venues where the ball doesn't come on the bat as well.
That's what. So I don't know why, but Dhoni loves Chennai, right? That's what his psyche to
He's
play
cracked
with those
Chennai.
slow. He's cracked Chennai.
He's cracked
right?
Chennai because I think it's all about defending. He's the master
Yes.
of defending small totals. And people usually mistake, they try and get too many runs, thinking a white ball game requires a lot of runs. And you falter at Chennai because playing at Chennai requires a different science. You got to pace yourself up. You got to wait and save your wickets for the final crash. While people usually go for runs early, lose the wicket and find themselves in a spot where they feel they could have.
So you think Chennai is a ground where you should accelerate the game after 35 or 30 something? Till that time you should hold the wickets and games and go to the pace of, let's say, an average 5 or 5.5-ish and over, and hold about 3 or odd batsmen for the end game.
With Chennai, I think the middle overs are very crucial.
Okay.
So when
The
the ball
middle.
when the ball is new, when the ball comes on the bat well, with the modern game rules, you can only have 2 fielders outside the circle in the first 10 overs. So when the ball comes nicely on the bat in the first 10 overs before the ball gets older. Now we are playing with 2 new balls. Unlike earlier, there are 2 new balls on each end, so you only use the one ball for 25 overs and the other new ball for 25 overs, right? So in that format, I think as a strategy to go into Chennai wicket is to score runs up front in the first 10 overs, and then when the ball gets a little older, wicket gets a little slower,
Softer, yeah.
you probably want to save wickets between the 15th and the 40th over. So that 25 over patch, you may want to score at 4 runs per over, but not lose more than 2 wickets and have 6 wickets in hand going into the last 60 balls.
Okay, so you've raised a very good point. This time there are 2 different balls to be bowled on different ends. Don't you think that's the reason that we should have a longer pacers on both the ends, because the ball is fresh and new to swing? For any ground, I would not say Chennai or maybe Wankhede or maybe Ahmedabad. Maybe it's a very easy ground to play with. It's an easy wicket to play with.
With Chennai, the wickets slower. So I think the combination that we went in with 3 spinners of Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja and R. Ashwin was the best possible combination, given that the ball did not come on the bat, and that's exactly what showed up. They bowled beautifully in partnership. And where we got into the game was the double breakthrough that Jadeja got for us
The same
in form
over,
of Steve Smith and
Alex Carey.
Labuschagne.
Labuschagne.
Both the set batsmen.
Alex Carey as well.
So that's the second time.
Second
but I
time,
think
okay.
the first double break where you got out 2 set batsmen. After the partnership that Warner and Smith posted.
Yes, it
Then
was Carey.
Labuschagne went in and again started another partnership with Smith. But then Jadeja double broke and got 2 set batsmen, which brought 2 brand new batsmen on wicket. Maxwell and Green thereafter.
Crazy. So I would say if I would segmentize the whole situation for the first inning, and then I'm going to go to the second inning. What do you think about, in a very crisp way to say, for let's say first 15 overs for India?
Indian
How do you
batting or bowling?
Bowling.
Indian bowling, I think Siraj and Bumrah both are the most successful, two of the most successful power play bowlers in the world cricket. If you see their statistics in the last 12 months, I think the kind of bowling they both have done in the one-day cricket, in the power play especially, and I think Siraj is the fastest to reach the 50 wicket mark, in certain manner, and it's his first World Cup, but he's coming into this World Cup with lots of wickets behind him, with lots of energy behind him, with lots of momentum behind him, with some great series before this. So he's coming all guns blazing.
Correct.
Well, Bumrah is an unbelievable senior pro who knows his bowling, he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, he knows his Yorkers, he knows his slower bouncers, he knows his game too well. And that combination of Siraj and Bumrah to start with, followed by the three spinners, I think.
Would you rate Bumrah? Bumrah is undoubtedly great, but would you rate Siraj very close with Ajit Agarkar, because he was furious when he entered? He was like 17 or 18 odd games and he crossed first 50 mile of wickets.
A very good observation. He is. I think he's a little better version of Ajit Agarkar, I would say, because I think the kind of aggression that he shows, the kind of intensity he shows. I think from time to time, the one-day cricket is also, the overall cricket has gotten aggressive. And with that intensity...
So in terms of, the swing is separate, but aggression is separate. So that's where he plays better on that. Alright, so moving on to the second segment of it, that's when our players came in. They were like Ashwin, who led first. Then the Jadeja, then Kuldeep, and then Then Kuldeep and Jadeja came in picture. So Ashwin, Kuldeep, Jadeja. How do you rate this spinner trio?
I think two players who have come into this World Cup. One in batting, which is KL Rahul, and one in bowling, which is R. Ashwin. Ashwin
Wildcard
missed
entry.
out. To Akshar at some point, but very rightfully. I would say very maturely, very rightfully, very thoughtfully. You can't keep Ashwin out. Someone who has taken like hundreds of wickets for India, knows his bowling extremely well. On Indian wickets, with an off spinner coming in, with lots of teams having left-handers. Now he's almost an unplayable bowler sometimes for the left-handers, especially.
Yes.
For the carom ball, as well as the ball going away. And the kind of control he has, if you see how
he can play with the new ball as well.
He can bowl the new ball as well, and that's what he was brought in the first change.
Yes.
Rightfully by, of course, Hardik Pandya was in the first change for a couple of overs before he broke his finger, and then immediately Rohit fell back on Ashwin. But I think he started phenomenally with the kind of control he has over his bowling, the kind of variations he does without bowling loose is simply outstanding.
So Ashwin's selection for Chennai was apt. Plus he could bat as well, right?
Yeah, he can.
He's a go-getter for your last, let's say, 5 to 7 overs. If at all you're chasing or it's your first inning, he can hit well. Remember the 4 he made it against India-Pakistan, that MCG match where Kohli played the fantastic inning.
Yep.
The last. So he can bat. He's proved it time and again. He can bat. And moving down to that how India controlled the inning, wrapped up at 199. Going down to the batting side. First over, furious start, strikes, Ishan Kishan, opportunity. Imagine a guy has been called a night before or maybe 2 nights before because your team combination is just Shubman Gill got sick.
Yeah.
So what could be the Rohit Sharma's psychology or Ishan Kishan opportunity? What he capitalized? What do you say about it?
I think I'd say that a bit of nerves to start with, because the kind of shot that Ishan Kishan played, something, he got a bit carried away with that drive. He probably didn't reach the ball, and that's what Stark does, because he's a senior pro. He knows his bowling. He puts on the right spot straight away. He doesn't need a loose now.
Or he goes for the Yorker sometimes. Crazy
he does,
one.
and when first up, when the ball is pitched on that good sweet spot, swinging away dramatically like a banana. It's what we call it in cricket is a banana curve.
Banana.
The ball swerves like a banana. It actually swerved like that. And it unfortunately, Kishan followed the ball. Yes. While following the ball, he ended up nicking it up to the slip.
Or maybe he could be thinking that's his first World Cup match. He could be thinking getting out to the mark as quickly as possible. So that kick.
No, Rohan. See, his natural game is aggressive. Okay. He's not a crafter. He's an aggressor. He goes out. He expresses himself. He likes to play shots. Sometimes it doesn't go off. But the one thing that I'd say that in the top order, I think Rohit was unfortunate typically, and Australians do their homework really well, because they know that to trap Rohit early on, you have to find him on the front foot, coming out in swinging delivery, LBW, they come
That
back.
also quite edge, right?
They
it was
come
like
with-
it was hitting the bells, right? It was not even proper one,
But
bad luck.
but Australians know that they do their homework really well, and that's where you catch Rohit early on before he comes out on the front foot. Hazelwood caught him right there for the LBW, and then I think what was displeasing, what was unpleasant to see, to be honest, is the way Shreyas Iyer got out. Because once you lose 2 wickets for
You just
nothing,
don't do that.
and you can't play such a rash shot on the rise at that point, trying to hit a nothing shot, getting a simple lolly
have-
catch at the covers.
he
you
could have
know.
leave it. He
He
could
would
have
have well
just
defended it.
well
I mean,
defended.
see, I mean,
And,
before-
and this same guy who made phenomenal runs in the last inning, last 2 consecutive practice matches.
so in life, it's all about. It's not about how much you know. It's about how you deliver when it's required. So the greatness is not in knowing things. The greatness is delivering at the right time.
Right. People do say, right, losing catches, losing matches.
It does. And this was, there can't be a bigger example than this. You know, catches win matches and drops do lose matches. And I'm sure how gutted Mitchell Marsh would be. You know,
But
with
after that, the way he's put his head down, small singles, you know, he only runs. He doesn't have to score centuries because the way I understand his psychology is, he believes that he could run 2 runs per ball. There are 12 runs in an over. Why should I hit a shot? Yeah. And that's what his energy. He can play up to 100 overs. I mean,
And I think what was very pleasing to see in this particular match was the application we showed, because what we have lacked in the recent cricketing times for Indian cricket is probably the lack of application in the middle order. You know, we have failed to deliver the middle order, and while it was so pleasing to see that 2 fit, matured, experienced batsmen came to the foray of the Indian team, which has been the strength from over the period of time. We had the greats like Dravid and Lakshman doing it for us.
Absolutely.
The
Nice
greats
of
like
them.
Vishwanath, Gundappa Vishwanath and Dilip Dhingsarkar doing it for us. Azharuddin doing it for us. You know, from time to time we had some legends, and somehow I think
we've been looking for it, right? I think you struck a very good thing that it could be the India's most Google search question of last 1 or 2 years as who is going to bat at number 4.
Absolutely.
They've tried so many combinations.
Absolutely.
And look about this guy. KL Rahul came from nowhere. He was everybody beating all the odds that he should be selected or not. Came out of an injury, dull form, even at IPL, average, moderately average form, and started playing well, kept for 50 overs straight, and played the whole inning till the end. It was just unfortunate with 99, but
No, absolutely. And I think while we talk the greatness of Virat Kohli, I think we can't take away the fact that on the day, in this particular match, I'd say that Rahul was way more fluent and way more crispier, way more neater than Virat Kohli. And while we talk about that one inning that you're referring to very rightfully, that he has come back into the team with as a wild card entry with injuries, but to me, you know, to be honest, I think sometimes accountability helps in life. When you're made accountable, when you're pushed to wall, when you're expected to do various things, it brings the best out of you. Either it brings the best out of you or it breaks you. What happened here with Rahul, wicket keeping in a World Cup as a non-wicket keeper is not an easy thing.
not an easy thing.
So when you are already involving in the game as a wicket keeper,
and sorry to interrupt, but this particular day, you had an Ishan Kishan.
absolutely.
Rahul was trusted because he has to be backed. You just
Absolutely.
can't say today I've got a keeper in.
No,
who's a
because
professional keeper.
because Ishan Kishan is a substitute to the opener. So the moment
Yes.
Shubman Gill comes in,
Yeah.
Rahul still has to keep. So he has to get into the groove.
Get into groove. And
Even,
that momentum,
you know,
right?
it's a teamwork. We don't realize there are small teamworks when Ashwin bowls and Rahul keeps.
Yes.
When Kuldeep bowls and Rahul keeps, they have their own understandings
Equation.
of knowing each other, of the variations that they're gonna bowl. So the kind of momentum you go into a cricket match or a series like a World Cup, there is a lot of preparation, small preparation as cricketers. We know that we talk to our wicket keepers of what all deliveries we may bowl at what times.
And I think the wicketkeeper is the most intelligent guy in order to calculate or a guide for the bowler to go through, like what to bowl, what not to bowl, how the wicket is changing, or how the batsman is behaving. You know, all these nicks, you can say. You remember Dhoni used to play around?
Yeah.
Used to do this, that thing around. And
So
those
wicket-keeper-
Hindi lingo he used to bowl, and
Absolutely.
those cameras used to catch him.
Dhoni was
Kitna
another
aage
league,
dalega.
we can talk about Dhoni for the day, but
Yeah.
I think as you rightly mentioned, wicketkeeper is not just the most intelligent, but it's the spot which nobody else has in the entire stadium.
Okay.
The view that the wicketkeeper gets of the match is, apart from the umpire, nobody gets the view of the wicket and of the batsman and of the cricket match as closely and as neatly and as rightfully than a wicketkeeper. Because every ball pitching on the wicket of a medium pacer or a spinner, how it reacts after pitching, the gauging of the wicket, the speed of the wicket, the bounce of the wicket, the pace of the wicket, I think is something the wicketkeeper, there's nobody, because wicketkeeper has to be ready to receive every ball. So his eye is on the ball. So when a wicketkeeper is a batsman and goes out to bat, he has already in his mind played 50 overs of batting.
Correct.
Because he has wicket kept 50 overs,
50 overs.
which means he has looked at every ball like a batsman.
Correct.
Which means that when he goes out to bat, he has already gauged the bounce.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to come to is that while
That's when, do you think the Gilchrist outplayed us in the final while Ganguly was captain in 2011?
Yeah.
That was just one toss. Like, if I read a biography of Ganguly, right? He said he could change one thing back to that World Cup is only winning the toss and opting to bat later. So the chasing game would have been better. But yeah, never say that. So Australia did the same to us, and I think we started off very well in this game for Australia, because I would say India washed out 2 practice matches.
Yeah.
And it's not about not playing, having a game time, because we won the Asia Cup. But pack your bags, go to a stadium, practice, and then morning you wake up and there is no match. So there is some momentum goes down, then you pack your bag again, go to another ground, there is no match again. What do you say about that kind of a mindset of a team?
So fortunately, India got 2 good tournaments before, going into the World Cup, won the Asia Cup and the 3-game series against Australia, in the very recent past of the World Cup. So I think all the tick box, as we say, that India could have dreamt of. Rahul Dravid's team got all those tick boxes because he got ample time to work around all the combinations possible in the batting lineup, in the bowling lineup, captaining Rahul. When Sharma and Kohli were rested in the first 2 matches against Australia, gave the middle order like Surya Kumar Yadav to score 100. So tomorrow, if Iyer doesn't do well, Iyer got 100. If Iyer doesn't do well, Surya Kumar comes in straight away with a century behind him. So we are all set beautifully. And one thing that I would love to mention here while we were talking about KL Rahul is that I think I see the KL Rahul 2.0 version here. The 2.0 has started because I feel that the legacy of captaincy from here on, he's kind of building up to become the rightful leader of this team, given his accountability becoming more and more intense as a wicketkeeper. Because all that has not come out of Rahul is the potential that he has. He has not been able to perform to his potential. He is a brilliantly talented batsman, one of the most talented batsmen that we have today. Okay. How we backed Rohit Sharma in his early years. Rohit Sharma failed drastically for a few years, but his talent was backed, hoping that this guy will someday bring glory to the country. It's worth investing time in him.
Correct.
That's exactly the case with KL Rahul. We have invested a lot of time, and I think he has. While we talk about Hardik Pandya as a captain,
so what you are leading is that a captain should not be the best player of your team. He should be the player who could get the best out of each individual of any team.
Absolutely.
So on that note, there is a good conversation required and a good full time that Hardik Pandya versus KL Rahul, because both of them have hit the bottom. Both of them were, if you remember, at Karan Johar show and hit the bottom, blocked their career because of certain lingo was being used, and then both came back, from a dull form and performing very well, and both the best contenders of vice captain, because one lost it, one just got it. But it's a good conversation to go on. But looking forward, so now Shami was sitting out. What do you say about it?
See, it's gonna keep changing on which ground we play. You can't play 3 seamers on Chennai when you have the privilege of Hardik Pandya as the 3rd medium pacer. So this wicket expected us to play with 3 spinners, and luckily Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja, both as an all-rounder, comes in as a medium pacer all-rounder and a spin all-rounder. I think that is giving us a lot of cushion to whether play for an additional seamer. So what's going to happen is that mostly Siraj and Bumrah are going to stay constant.
Okay.
Ravindra Jadeja and Kuldeep Yadav or Ashwin are going to stay constant. One of the two between Kuldeep and Ashwin.
Okay, so
they are going to stay constant.
Jadeja is constant. The between them is going to be Ashwin or Kuldeep.
And
okay.
Bumrah and Siraj will be constant. With Hardik being constant. So now basis the wicket, it will be decided whether will they go with a third seamer or a third spinner.
So looking at this, the next match, what do you see as a combination?
At Delhi, I think I don't see any different combination because Afghanistan, it's easier to go because Hardik Pandya gives us that third seamer.
Okay.
So then you are
But
going
Delhi is a little faster wicket.
Little faster wicket, but three seamers are enough on any Indian track. No Indian track is fast enough to play four seamers. So when you have three seamers, and then when you have the privilege of the quality of bowling that Kuldeep Yadav is doing in the recent past, he's been outstanding. While we talk about
Kotla is legend Anil Kumble's 9-10 wickets. Yeah. So that does turn as well.
And while we talk about the legends of the
But
game,
now it's not Firozshah Kotla anymore. Sorry. It's in Arun Jaitley Stadium.
Jaitley
So
Stadium.
sorry to bring it up that
yes,
way.
but I mean we remember it as
Yes,
Kotla.
yes.
But while we speak about the legends of Bumrahs and Kohlis and Sharmas, I think we can't miss out on the significance of value that Kuldeep Yadav brings in.
Wow.
Because
Agreed.
that wicket that Kuldeep brought in, first half of David Warner.
Yes.
I think Warner and Smith were the
Was
two
strong.
most dangerous batsmen in the Australian lineup because Warner got 50s in all three games. Just before this series between India and Australia, he got half centuries in all three games and he was already looking set. The time at which Kuldeep broke, the time at which we got the breakthrough of Warner, I think that's where we started hitting.
That's where it started.
Hitting Australia on the back foot. So those little wickets, those little victories of taking the wickets at the right time, I think these are very big unsung heroes which will end up playing an unbelievably significant role should India go ahead and win this World Cup, which we are absolutely capable of.
Correct.
But these small performances, when we look back, we're going to look at, that beautiful wicket that Kuldeep Yadav took, the cotton bowl that he took off David Warner at the time when Smith and Warner had a 50-run partnership.
Yes.
Now that partnership could have well gone on to, imagine Mitchell Marsh's catch taken versus David Warner's catch dropped.
Similar situation.
Imagine the situation.
Yes,
so that one little nudge, that one little speed breaker, completely. So these are all great moments which are going to build up because India and Australia both are absolutely capable to lift this trophy. And what's going to differentiate? Because this time, Rohan, we should also discuss the format. First time ever is different.
Everybody playing to.
So there are no two groups. Every team gets to play 9 league matches, and basis the 9 league matches, the top 4 teams goes into semis. As simple as that.
Straight.
So the number of wins
Counts.
This was a huge win
And
because beating Australia
and the strike. The run rate.
absolutely.
Because you might have a clash with some other team.
It's gonna
and
happen.
that's where the net run rate is going to add up.
Absolutely.
Because a huge win psychologically as well as ball-wise, we had like about 8 overs left when we finished.
Beating England and Australia in the league stage, I believe, are going to be the two most important victories because then teams like Bangladesh, no team can be taken lightly.
Yeah.
However, you can probably go into as favorite playing against Bangladesh and Afghanistan and Netherlands or maybe Sri Lanka. While you are able to beat, so this win is going to set India up beautifully.
So, first 5 straight wins. Sorted.
Absolutely, there's
10
no alternate
points.
to winning.
Yeah.
However, it's gonna end somewhere. It's not gonna come. India is not gonna win every
But
match.
Afghanistan is not a lighter team. to
No
be
team
taken.
is light. Imagine there is no West Indies for the first time in a
Yeah.
one-day international World Cup. Teams like Netherlands and Afghanistan have battered West Indies, which means they have the quality of cricket in them. And someone like a Rashid Khan.
And Rashid Khan and Nabi and Mohammedullah and now there's I forgot his name. What's his name? Virat Kohli's dear friend. from KL Rahul's team. That guy is back, no? That bowler.
Oh yeah, the leg spinner.
Yeah, he's a leg spinner or a bowler. He had a tiff in IPL. He's a pacer.
The medium pacer.
Nabi,
yeah.
no, N. No, Nabi. Nabi is a captain. No.
Okay.
That guy, yaar, he had a tiff. Gautam Gambhir just crushed his hand and then everything just.
Oh yeah. I mean, I forgot the name, but I know what.
Naveen.
Naveen.
Is I think is Naveen. So that
Yeah, I remember. I was commentating on that match in the IPL. I remember what you're saying.
Yes.
And yeah, I forgot
a
the name.
little bizarre. But anyways, so Virat Kohli is playing in his home ground where he's played his maximum cricket in his life. I mean, before professional life, of course. And now he'll be looking at something is called Virat Kohli atrium or a stand. I think stand. Yeah, Virat Kohli stand. How's that feel?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's very overwhelming for a cricketer. But I mean, Kohli has earned it, deserved it, digested it. So I'm sure that he knows he's in that zone of his life where Sachin Tendulkar was in the last 6 years or 5 years of his cricket. You know,
Okay.
After Sachin lost his captaincy to Ganguly, how Kohli has succeeded his captaincy to Rohit and still playing in the team as the most important batsman. I think we are seeing
The
a
kind of
repeat.
energy he holds.
So we are seeing the repeat of the Tendulkar era here, wherein the intent is to use all the ability and the experience as a batsman, as a player, to just bring matches to win for India. You know, to bring
The focus is give the best. and
focus
win
is
for
to
India.
win games because his role, he doesn't bowl. His role is to just keep scoring runs.
But that's what Nehraji said. He wants to bowl. He thinks he's the best medium pacer ever Indian team had.
That's what Virat Kohli does. He's a typical Scorpion. I think he wants attention in everything he does.
Yeah.
And you know, he somehow manages that. So someday when he's not batting, I'm sure he's gonna pick up the ball and say, "Oh, I'm bowling," and he'll still get the attention because if you see, his energy rubs on crazy. The first catch that he got of the
Wow,
match, you know,
phenomenal.
he set the World Cup for us. You know, and then he constantly keeps connecting with the crowd. He keeps raising the crowd. He interacts with the crowd. I think he's in that zone of his life where he's in a lot of control. And I wish that the kind of control he's in and he stays focused because the way he's batting today, relentlessly, powerfully running between the wickets, not trying to hit too many sixes, trying to play the ground shots, putting value on his wicket, knowing that his role in the team is a holder and not a finish. I mean, not a slogger.
Anchor.
He's an anchor. He's holding the innings together because then there are big shot players around him. And you know, when you have someone like him in the middle, when each and every player know their role right, it's so simpler for the captain and the coach and the team management to keep strategizing because they can expect the team to deliver.
Absolutely. So it's like a human psychological thing that if you have one person in your team who takes responsibility of performing by himself within, so rest everybody also start feeling into behave or become like that. And in order to do that, everybody start giving their more 100%,
Absolutely.
99, 100, 99, 100, and keep hitting the bar. So Kohli, as he keep hitting the bar, we're looking forward to the Delhi match. And we will meet after Delhi match and we'll talk about Afghanistan's performance and India's performance because we're looking at a great win coming up to nat up the good run rate. But with that, we had a great conversation today.
Great
It
conversation.
was a way impromptu. We just met.
It's a conversation that Rohan and I usually do, you know, at this time, you know, as someone who understands the sport, is a very intelligent man, unlike me. I've had the experience of playing the cricket, you know, first-class cricket, captaining the teams and playing in India, England, abroad, and you know, now I am also still involved with the sport, selecting players. But having a conversation with someone like him who comes with a very truthful, intellectual point of view, we thought this time, why not?
Take it public.
Record this conversation, and if good enough, maybe we'll probably bring it to the
bring it
world
more.
and share it and kind of put ourselves and expose ourselves. Rather, we embarrass ourselves for the talks we do, or we come across meaningfully. Is something probably time will say. But nevertheless, we are using this beautiful platform of social media to connect with people with meaningful talks.
And if you have anything, right? So today I've noticed down that we have so many points to go, and if we keep talking like this, could not be called as a podcast, could be a movie. So we got to come down with more several topics of human behavior to match, and a lot of other stuff. If you guys feel that you want us to discuss anything further more detailed than this, or any other thing in mind that we've talked or commented on to go more deeper about the same topic as well, if you find relevant enough, please let us know. We are very open to include them in next session of this. You can write in the comment, and wherever you're going to post it, please subscribe and share it with your friends. Share it with the closest ones so that we can go deeper and further. Thank you so much for watching this, and we shall do it again.
Absolutely.
Cheers, Kiran.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you so much.